Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking more about my diabetes because today is 4 years since I was first diagnosed a type 1 diabetic. Um, oh my god, it was so crazy when I was first diagnosed. First of all, it was when I was in 6th grade and we had Greek games that day. Out of all the days to have gone to the doctor, it had to have been on 6th grade Greek games. So my mom picks me up from school and she's like, okay, I made you a doctor's appointment. And I'm like, okay. So we go to the doctor's office, right? And I walk in a huge red oversized shirt, a slash that says Greek, and a bronze medal because my class got third that day. We had to have gotten first. The other team cheated. So we walk into the office and the nurse is like, I'm gonna need you to get in this gown. And I'm like, thank you. It was crazy though. She asked for my symptoms, then I was like, well, I was drinking a lot and I had to pee a lot, and I ended up losing like 20 pounds before I went to a doctor's appointment. Which, if you have symptoms like that, you should really go to a doctor. Like, don't get on Google, because 10 times out of 10, Google is wrong, and you'll either be diagnosed as, like, pregnant or something. And one of the odd things was that I had to go pee. So I unhook my IV and I go to use the restroom. And I'm using the bathroom and it smells sweet. Like, it smells like sweet tarts. And I guess that when your blood sugar has been high for so long, that your urine, your blood, everything starts smelling like sugar because, sugar has been in your blood for so long because you haven't had insulin. Because when I found out I was diabetic, it was way too late. Like, I was on the verge of a coma. Like, that was one of the first things that my doctor told me. He was like, you're really lucky that you came in today, because if you would have waited even a day, you could have gone into a coma and not woken up. So it's just crazy that something this small, well, it's not really small, but like, it's not a lot of awareness on diabetes. So they ended up releasing me about maybe around 1 in the morning. All I remember from that is that we went from the hospital to Dairy Queen because my parents felt so bad. They let me get like a slushie and ice cream, and I didn't even have insulin with me, like, because they just released me and they're like, okay, well, you're gonna meet with your permanent doctor tomorrow, and he's my endo doctor, so every 3 months I go and I get my blood drawn. Sometimes I get ketones, and I meet with him and we talk about it. So next morning I went and we sit in his room, and he has a syringe on the table, and I'm like, oh, don't do it. After we're talking about the supplies I'm gonna need, how it's gonna work, and how I got it in the first place. And he's like, he takes a syringe and he's like, dose yourself. And I'm like, he was a funny one. So he takes a vial of insulin and he pulls it out and he hands it to me. Like, he's dead serious. Like, he's like, you're gonna do this and you're gonna do it in front of me so I can see that you can handle it. So I take the syringe and I'm like, is this what you want? Is this what you really want? So my dad, who is sitting next to me, grabs the syringe and he throws it into my arm and he presses down on it, and I'm like wanting to scream in pain. I'm like, and he's like, my doctor's like, was that bad? I'm like, yes, it was. And it was just crazy. Everything happened so fast. Like, 1 minute I was at the doctor, then I was in the ER. It's honestly so crazy how much can happen in a year, let alone 4 years. I mean, I think in the first year of being diagnosed, I was awful. Like, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to dose, which was really bad because my numbers were everywhere. Like, I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would come downstairs and check my blood sugar, and it would be at like 9, and I'm like, well, at least I can eat some candy. So it would range from like 9 to 600, where like the meter wouldn't even read it. So it's really crazy. The one thing though that's really grown to bother me is when people like make jokes about diabetes. Like people who don't even have to deal with it. Like for you to make fun of someone for something that they can't help, that is so messed up. Like it's never really bugged me until I've been made fun of for diabetes, cuz I've been made fun of for diabetes for years, and I still don't understand why you would make fun of somebody for, like I said, something that they can't help. Like, I, I didn't ask to be born with diabetes, Like, I don't want to wake up every day and stick a needle in my finger about 9 times a day. I don't want to have to stick another needle in my side every day. I don't want to have it ripped out by objects every day. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not right for somebody to just make fun of somebody for something that they have to go through, for something that has changed their life. I honestly am glad that the only kind of disability or sickness that I have to deal with in my life is diabetes, because it's honestly not as bad as it could be. Like, yes, it still sucks. Yes, it still is annoying, but it's manageable. Anything is manageable. You just gotta have a positive mind. You can't do anything if you have a negative mind. You don't want to do anything. And that was me for the first year and a half. I mean, at the end of the day, I can proudly say that I do have diabetes, yes. And I hope that I inspire people. And I hope one day people look at my videos and they're like, gee, if she can do it, why can't I do it? That's ultimately what I want to be here for. I want to be here to inspire people, and I want people to literally live life to their last second, because you never know what's going to happen. I didn't wake up that day and I didn't go, I'm going to have diabetes today. Like, life, stuff happens, That way, you just have to look at everything in a positive way. If you look at things in a negative way, you're never going to be happy. There is not a single day in my life that I have woken up and just been, man, it's really hard. Life is really hard with diabetes. It's because it's not. If I had $1 for every time someone said, I'm so sorry, after they found out I was diabetic, I would have enough to buy myself an artificial pancreas. It's not that you have to feel bad, just be there for them. Be there to be like, you know what, I know it's tough, but you can do it. You certainly can beat it. I mean, I'm proud I have diabetes. I have it, and it does not have me. And to any diabetics out there, just know someone's proud of you. Because what people don't know is what you wake up to do every single day. People don't know what it's like to stab your finger. And that doesn't just go for diabetics, that goes for anybody. Nobody knows what's going on in your life, So everybody gets props. I mean, like, honestly, everybody deserves props. You got up today? Look at you. Look at you taking your medicine like a champ. You went outside today? Man, that's amazing. I mean, everybody has a difficult part in their life. It's not just certain people. So, I hope that everybody feels proud of themselves and never gets themselves down, and just be positive, It can always be worse.